What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to viralstocks.io. Guys, Mullen made a high of over $3 per share today. That is an absolutely massive move from MULN Stock. We've been talking about Mullen since just over $1 per share, I believe, and now today that's pretty much tripled to a high of over $3 per share. So you guys know we like to talk about big gainer stocks on this channel, and we like to take advantage of these big moves in the market and obviously capitalize on them and make a ton of money. And MULN Stock has been one that we have been able to do that. We've been in Mullen since around $1 and now have rode this wave the whole way up. So congratulations to anyone that has been in Mullen Stock. Leave me a comment down below saying Mullen Army. I want to see all of the Mullen investors out there. Now, you guys know here at viralstocks.io, this is exactly what we do. We like to try and find big gains and big opportunities in the stock market. And once we do, what we do is we alert those out to our subscribers. So guys, if you want to get our completely free alerts, let me remind you that our last two alerts have been absolutely huge winners. The first one, which was just last week, I believe, that stock ran over 180% at its highs, and the one that was just a couple of days ago, that stock ran over 20% just on open. So both you were able to make a ton of gains on. Now, of course, we cannot guarantee any of this. This may not happen on the next one. It may. Who knows? We are not financial advisors whatsoever. We can only tell you what history has done, and of course, it is absolutely a completely free service. All you have to do is click the link in the description below or go to viralstocks.io and you guys can sign up with your email for absolutely completely free. We'll never charge you $1, never ask you for $1 or anything. We will never sell your email, and of course, we will not spam it whatsoever. That is nothing that we want to do. We will only send you at max 1 or 2 alerts a week, and guess what? If we don't see any opportunities in the market, we are not going to alert you with any stocks. That is how we roll. We do not like to force things, right? But then after you guys enter in your email, make sure you download our free ebook on the next page here so you guys can see how we pick our penny stocks. And then this is very important to make sure and enter in your phone number. So the phone number is very important because sometimes the emails go to spam and sometimes they take a little bit to come through. Well, text message has been not only extremely fast but also extremely reliable. So if you want to get our alerts as soon as we send them, which is before the bell, so you guys can get in that stock, then make sure and enter in your phone number so they come to you very, very quickly. But that's what we do here on viralstocks.io. Short-term, high probability trading opportunities. We don't care about your next dividend investment. There's plenty of other channels for that. We focus on short-term opportunities here, and MULN Stock has been able to provide that for us. As we can see, MULN has been absolutely rocketing 378% over the last 1 month, 66% over the last 5 days, and if you just got in this morning, you were able to make still over 20%, as MULN is now over $3 per share once again. Absolutely great stuff here for MULN, and there is still a massive opportunity here for a short squeeze, but also for a longer, great long-term stock because of everything they have going for them in the EV industry. Now, what I want to do here is first start with some TA. So there are some very important technical levels here with MULN Stock. So if you guys know anything about support and resistance levels, you know that support and resistance pretty much bounce off of each other, right? So if we're in an overall uptrend pattern, then the previous level of resistance is going to be that new level of support. So when you talk about a pretty strong level for MULN Stock here, it's going to be right around that $2.70 mark, okay? This was the last level of resistance where MULN had a hard time breaking through, ultimately came back down. Now once that we passed that, we were up. Now hey, we did retest the line a little bit there, so you actually could say the new level of support could be somewhere around 292, right? So we could put another one here, not as strong but somewhere around 292, which it tend to actually bounce off of, and now it's going back up. But much stronger would be down here at around that 270 mark. Then below that is going to be around that $2 mark, just above it, and then the last level of support would be somewhere around that $1.55 mark, right? So lots of different levels there that MULN can hold, but obviously we want this to continue in the uptrend pattern. At this time, we really don't want it to go below $3. We want this thing to continue to rocket, but of course, keep an eye on the support levels because if it drops, it may get concerning. You may want to get out, and my suggestion is really always have a trailing stop. So if you're trailing 5 or 10%, if that stock drops 5% from wherever its high was, then you're going to get out and you're going to secure your profits, right? I think that's extremely important. Now, I'll show you one more thing here on the daily time frame. That is the next real resistance level, which now this is very good, but there isn't one for quite a while. So really the next level of resistance could be somewhere around that 364-ish mark, 370 mark. almost 380 actually. Somewhere around that mark is going to be that next level of resistance there. So Mullen has a good bit of room to run here. Also on the RSI, it's not at those overbought levels yet on the daily, so it does have a lot more room to run here before it could possibly cause a pullback on some of these higher time frames. So keep that in mind. But anyways, one thing that's great with Mullen that we need to keep watching is there is an absolutely ton of volume pouring into this stock. So let's actually refresh this page here and see if it went up at all since then. Yes. So literally every time you refresh the page here, the volume for Mullen keeps going up and up and up. So this is before the market is even closing. Mullen is already at 412 million here for the volume. As you can see, this 514 was a huge day as well. But what I want you guys to know is tons of volume pouring into this stock, tons of buying pressure is leading to it going up. So you guys can keep an eye on the pre-market, take a look at price action, volume, all those things, and you can tell kind of if Mullen's going to have a good day or not. Now, I want to bring something up here next because this is important when you talk about a short squeeze situation. This is from Moon Market, so shout out to him. But he says, Mullen, shares available to borrow are down to only 80,000 at an 11.876% fee, right? So when you're short stocks, you have a cost to borrow fee. It costs money to borrow these stocks and holding them and holding into the market, right? That's why us holding our shares, it doesn't cost us a dime, but it does cost them to hold their short positions, which is why they could get liquidated even quicker. But the even more important part here is the 80,000. Only 80,000 shares available to borrow. Now, we know what goes on in the market. I mean, allegedly, they'll probably pull some out of thin air and they'll be shorting it again. But allegedly here, there's only 80,000 shares left to borrow. You know what that means? That means these shorts are running out of ammo and they're not going to be able to keep shorting this stock once this 80,000 shares is up. At least that's what's supposed to happen, right? It also is a hefty fee to short this stock right now. That costs a lot of money for the shorts to hold their position. This isn't a 1 or 2% fee. You're over 11%, almost 12% fee right now. So the stock is getting much, much harder to borrow. The shares are going down and the fee is going up. Why is the fee going up? Because the shares are going down. The shares are harder to come by. So if you want to short them, the fee is going up. They kind of work in a direct correlation, if you will. But this is important here for a short squeeze situation. They're running out of shares, and if they eventually have no more shares to short, then they really shouldn't be able to manipulate that stock price anymore, right? When you buy those shares and you short them back into the market, ultimately it drops the stock price down. But when they officially run out of those shares, there should be no way they can, whatever you want to call it, artificially, if you will, suppress the stock price. So something to keep an eye on here, and of course, something that I will be updating you guys on repeatedly. Now, let's move on here because we got some great news out of MULN Automotive just today or yesterday, I believe it was, which was definitely an attribute of this nice rally we had today. And as we can see, MULN was featured on Yahoo Finance Live. So historically here, every time MULN is featured on an article, it kind of lines up with retail sentiment, and we've had good days. So as we can see, March 17th, this was yesterday, which was Thursday, but it was after market. So the stock rallied today. And as you can see, we won't really go through all of this here, but the reality is that MULN they had incredible things to say about MULN stock, right? Even the CEO said, "I'm proud of the incredible progress MULN has made so far, but we are just getting started." And the announcer here, they said positive coverage on car buzz, strong performance in a recent EV market study, which is arguably the most important catalyst right now. Significant domestic presence as being the top reasons for contributing to the uptick in the company's performance. So all kinds of good stuff here, along with their string of key partnerships with some absolutely massive names. All of this stuff is adding to the push on MULN. Why? Because it's a stock that has a pretty good long-term potential, right? I know they had some bad financing agreements. I know their balance sheet is rough and they have like $200 in cash, right? So some of those things are pretty rough. But if you look at the stock, what they have going for it, company-wise, avoiding some of that negative information, they really do have a great long-term outlook, especially in this extremely hot EV sector. So you prepare that long-term potential with a bunch of retail investors and a ton of shorts trying to push this stock down like no other. Literally, this stock has been suppressed like crazy. That really leads to a nice short squeeze situation here, but also some room to run for the long term, And so this was the last time the stock ran, which was, 2 days ago. And that was that 514 million volume, right? It was on this news right here that they're making performance EVs to get excited about. And the author compared them to stocks like Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid. And they said as a real American competition to legacy automakers as the EV market grows. So obviously this was huge news, right? But you can see just how good everyone is talking about MULN. I just think that's great, and it's great for them, right? And they even got another price target here. So Obviously, they had a price target in the past. Well, that's still there now, which is a $23 price target from a Wall Street analyst in the next 12 months. And then we just had a Seeking Alpha author, who, by the way, is a pretty good author. We saw that he just put out another price target of $15 per share based off of his discounted cash flow model. So this is pretty bullish here that they got another pretty high price target. Anything higher than 10, I think, is awesome. A MULN squeeze to $10 would be insane. Comment if you want that MULN squeeze to $10. I know many of you are up 100, 200, and 300% already. Imagine a squeeze to $10, which could be up over 1,000%. That would be absolutely awesome. But anyways, the one piece of catalyst, I guess there's two here that we're really waiting on. We want to know if they're going to get this loan application for $450 million, one. And number two would be we want to see positive news or deliveries on those EV cargo vans, right? But I'm going to focus on this because, like I said, they have like $200 in cash on their balance sheet. I mean, it's that bad, like no exaggeration. Not 200,000, literally 200, right? Which is obviously bad for a company of this size. This isn't a boutique down the road or anything. But as we can see, if they get this $450 million loan, that would pretty much pull them out of all that bad financing, all the negative stuff that they have going on, right? And will give them a ton of capital to move forward. And other companies like Tesla, Rivian, don't quote me on those, but a couple other big EV companies, they have gotten this Fisker was one of them, yeah. They have gotten this $450 million loan, right? So it's kind of highly likely that they're going to get this. And when they do, not only is it going to be great for the company in the long term, but it is going to be an insane piece of news for retail investors, right? So possibility to catch another short squeeze there. And like I said, guys, we provide completely free alerts here at viralstocks.io. So if we see something hit our screener that MULN has some big news coming out and also has great price action in the morning, you can believe we're going to be alerting that stock out to you guys. So make sure you get your email in there and you get your text message in there so you guys do not miss any potential alerts. Now, I'll end it here. I know you guys have probably seen the CEO interview that's kind of going around about MULN, and it's honestly great. One, they hinted at a possible Apple buyout. I say hinted, the CEO said no comment. To retail investors, no comment means probably. So obviously they hinted at that, which is a good sign. It caused a nice pump in the stock price. But the other thing that I took way better than that was that the CEO said he's very confident on them getting this $450 million. And that means a ton for this business and a ton for a big short-term catalyst, so look out. Any piece of news we get on MULN Stock, we're going to be updating you guys on the channel and on our Twitter. But more importantly, we have a massive stock alert coming next week. We see a catalyst coming up. We need to wait for price action to confirm. It should be next week, and we are going to be dropping a stock to you guys as soon as the price action confirms. So make sure you are on our list. It is completely free. If you don't like it, just get out. But hey, the last people were able to make over 180% on our stock alert, which is insane. That was at its highs. You got to pull it any time along the way, right? My suggestion is always, not financial advice, but always take profits early, move on to the next play, right? So big stock alert coming, the big catalyst that should be dropping when we see price action to confirm, whatever day that might be, we're going to share with you guys. But make sure and get on the list, and also get on the list for any potential MULN alerts, because MULN is, as people are saying, possible short squeeze of the century here. So we'll have to see if we get that already. Even if it stops here, 300% gain, I mean, that is awesome. That is great stuff. Most people never see those kind of returns ever. So congrats to everyone on that. Let me see that MULN family in the comments below, and make sure and come join us for the next alerts, guys. That link will be in the description. It'll be in the comments. You can head to viralstocks.io, whatever you guys prefer. I appreciate all of you, and of course I will see you in the next video.